Welcome everyone to our second episode of our podcast. My name is Hood.
My name is this.
And welcome to Blessed Unfiltered. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about habits and habits we can have for the Lord, and just talking about good and bad habits that we may have or we may have had in the past, and what we have done to get over those habits, bad habits, and good habits that we have gained. So we're gonna discuss that. But before we get into that, your boy birthday today. LeBron years, you say I say. And
LeBron, not Jordan.
Yeah, LeBron, yeah, for sure. And it's your boy birthday today. It's a blessing to see 23 years. A lot of people don't get to see it, and so I thank the Lord for allowing me to be here. But by the time y'all see this episode, it's not gonna be my birthday no more.
Y'all still make sure y'all tell who they happy birthday in the comment section though.
Heck yeah, and we go celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm proud, man. I'm proud of the man God making me become, and yeah, let's get into the episode.
Give one example of building a great habit for the Lord.
I say reading His Word. Reading the Word is a great way to get closer to God, because it's hard to get to know something if you don't
look into it.
Yeah, you don't look into it if you don't try to do research. It's just like you starting a business, but you don't know what profit is gonna look like. You don't know what the product you're going to sell or whatever. It's just like you just going into something that you know nothing about, but without doing the proper research and the proper type things to look into it and understand it. You feel what I'm saying? So in order to know God, because you can know of God, but don't know God. Because you don't understand. So it's good to learn about parables and all those type things, because in the Word He speaks a lot of parables. You have to understand like parables and things like that, and have a deeper understanding in your mind. You know what I'm saying? And be willing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one great example of building a great habit for the Lord, reading the Word.
I'm gonna say the same thing, like reading the Bible and praying, just getting to know the Lord, build Him, and understand like what it is to live a life pleasing to the Lord. If you're trying to build your relationship with the Lord, I suggest getting the Bible, preferably NIV version if you're new to the Bible altogether. But definitely prayer and reading the Bible, getting to know who the Lord is.
Yeah, for sure. I'm 1,000% agreeing with it on that. First question: what is a great habit you have, but also a bad habit that you have to work on?
You go first.
Okay, she want to be green. Okay, a great habit for me is like, I feel like I'm a very patient person. I feel like I don't just go off. I don't say too much. Like I just try to just go with the flow. But also like the worst thing is like the habit that I say is like sometimes me being so patient that I am sometimes come off like I'm being I don't know. So like I just feel like sometimes I become off like I'm a punk or something, like somebody could just play in my face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And disrespect me. You feel what I'm saying? I try not to look at it that way. I try to look at it like, I'm just trying not to cause more conflict, because, you can't fight fire with fire. I'm a big believer in it, you know what I'm saying? Especially as I'm getting older. Cause like that was like a problem I did have back in the day, like trying to always, you know what I'm saying, feel like I always gotta defend myself. You feel what I'm saying? Because I used to get picked on a lot, so I always felt like I had to defend what I had, you feel what I'm saying? Because I ain't have no older brother to defend for me, or nobody older than me defend for me, so, I always had to depend on myself, you feel what I'm saying? And I always felt like I had to be the big dog, you feel what I'm saying? I always felt like I had to be, tough, or like act tough, or like show off a tough image in order to be taken serious.
Yeah.
But you know, a great habit that I have learned is that like from like I said, from getting picked on is like you learn patience. You learn that you know people always gonna have something to say about you. People gonna always, you know what I'm saying, like it's gonna be a reason people don't like you. So
have you ever had that happen in real time? Like people just, he ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna say nothing. So I'm gonna do what I do.
yeah, I have like people, you know, like I said, thought they could just, you know what I'm saying, do what they do, and like I said, bro, back in the day, I'm going, bro. Either if we ain't do these,
Yeah.
it was gonna be some, you know, some shit,
Yeah.
and all that type of stuff coming out. So it was like, you know, it was, you know, like I said, I always was in like defensive mode, and you know, but at the end of the day, just working on myself, you know what I'm saying, and trying to not prove them wrong, but prove myself right, and prove myself that I'm worthy, that I'm worthy
Yeah.
of, you know what I'm saying, being me, that I'm worthy of being here, that I'm worthy, that God has a purpose for me. So instead of trying to always look at proving people wrong, just trying to prove people right. So I think that's a great habit that God has given me to this point.
I'm gonna start with the bad because I feel like, I don't know, I'm still thinking about that great one. But bad habit, I say I have to work on. Sometimes, not a lot of times, but still though. Like sometimes, like if I don't feel like doing something, and I just really got my mind on like, nah, I just ain't feel. Sometimes I just won't do it. A great habit.
Do you lack the motivation to do it? Is it like, well, I'm just not doing it. Like I don't feel like it, so I'm not just go do it. Is there like a motivation? Is it?
I mean, you can, but I've been stopped, doing stuff based on motivation. Because if I was doing stuff based on motivation, I'd been stopped doing a whole bunch of stuff I do. Because, like, motivation don't really last. You depend on motivation. You ain't going to always feel like doing those stuff.
Yeah.
I
ain't gonna lie, I'm like that too, though. Like, I ain't gonna lie, because I don't feel like doing if it's something, like, that I just don't really want to do, like, even if it's, like, maybe beneficial at that time more for me, I just, like, let's say, like, it's a certain job or something like that I can go make more money and stuff like that, but I don't like the environment, I don't like the vibe.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it. I just feel like stuff like that money not everything.
I would rather work for less if it means I'm going to have other qualities in life.
Yeah.
If I'm getting the extra dollar, like cool, I'm getting the extra money, but I ain't got time to do this, I can't do this, I ain't really like, I don't even want the extra money no more.
Yeah, because I like having time off to myself, stuff outside of work. You know what I mean? Like I said, go to the gym and stuff like that. If I'm working 12 hours, 5 days a week, I don't feel like going to no gym. Because I know me. I know how I am. So it's like, I'm not gonna want to stay up and try to talk to nobody, no vendors and nothing like that. I know I'm not gonna want to do that. So
you also gotta set yourself up for success. Like, I can't go in no 12-hour shift. Say I do 7 to 7, 7 at in the morning to 7 at night. Yeah, but I still gotta eat, bathe, then go to the gym, then get back up at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Off 3
Not even that. You gotta be at work at 7, so you gotta get up like 6 something.
Yeah,
6
like
at minimum.
And then gotta work 12 more hours.
Yeah.
No, I ain't.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's stuff like that, like you gotta set yourself up for success. Like stuff like that ain't gonna do nothing but bring you down. Just like I'm giving all my time to this job. Now you ain't gonna feel like doing nothing else, and that's gonna cause you to fall into bad habits. What you doing not aligning with the lifestyle that you want, and you feel like you're not built towards the lifestyle you want. You just letting all the stuff you want to do go down the drain.
Man, you know what's crazy? It's actually people in the world that's actually doing it right now. That's working them 12-hour shifts. They still, when they get off, or maybe before they even go in, they go to the gym, they work out, and they eat like the same like we talked about. They doing it every day. You know what I mean? So I gotta shout out to the people that's doing that, because man, that ain't for the weak. That ain't for the weak, bro.
Cause I know me, like, don't get me wrong, I probably still like, but it's just like for the most part, I can see me now after about day 3 of that work week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going straight to the house.
Yeah.
No, I gotta go eat, gotta cook me something.
Mm-hmm.
That's 5 hours right there. Gotta put my clothes up, get ready for the next day. I ain't got time to do nothing but bathe, eat, and go to sleep and get ready to do it all over again.
Yeah, I just value my time, bro.
Yes.
You don't get time back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like today, June 1st, 2026, that'll never come back. Like
Yeah.
after this day over with, that'll never come back. So, you know, I just value my time a little too much. Like I like doing stuff on like my own thing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and you know, I know for me it would be hard for me to do that. You know what I mean? With that type of schedule.
I wouldn't do it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I can hear me pulling the supervisor to the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to push me back to these about 8-hour shifts.
Yeah.
I can't do these 12.
That's what I'm saying.
And I feel like jobs don't really be understanding that all the time. Cause like your goals and somebody else's goals, they not the same.
Yeah.
You know, them people where you at, what you look at as a job, they might look at as a career.
Mm-hmm.
So they gonna take it more serious. You know, anyway. So when you telling them all this, like, they don't really be trying to hear that all the time. I ain't gonna say no supervisor you come across gonna ever understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So you gonna have something like, oh, okay. But you know, you talking to them higher upper people that's up in the company, they not trying to hear that. They think you need to be dedicated to this job and understand the benefit that the job gives you.
Yeah, they look at you as a number. They ain't complaining, so why you here?
Yeah.
So it's like,
no, but that's what I be saying. Like them higher ups in the company, they don't do what workers do.
right.
You know, y'all get paid the top dollar to do the very least.
Mm-hmm.
While we get paid what we get paid, but we gotta work for
That's
every
crazy,
penny.
ain't it?
Yes, that's
you work harder to earn less.
Exactly.
You know, that's wild.
Insane, bro. That's why I say a work-life balance will always be more important to me than a few extra dollars. You can be making $400 more. Your check can be $300-$400 more than mine. But you know, I got what I got, and I still can go out and enjoy my life and do what I want to do outside. It ain't all revolving around work. Moving on to the second one. How do you create good or bad habits?
It starts when you're young, and you know who the people you have around you, and just learning and observing from them, like seeing their mistakes or things that they did well, and you know taking some of that into your habits. You know what I'm saying? And also, like if you want to talk about spiritually, like that goes back to what we was talking about earlier, just getting in the Word of God and learning that the laws and stuff like that, learning what to do and what not to do. And then God had stories up in there about the disciples and things like that, what they did and what they didn't do. You know what I mean? And the whole different bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? You know, the whole different type of stories. You know, to learn what to do and what not to do. And like I said, we have our own stories and our own testimonies where we see right and wrong every day. We see right and wrong every day. And I feel like that's how we build we create good and bad habits, is when we see family members, see friends, see just regular strangers, and we see something that, like, dang, like, cause you ever heard somebody say something and you like, man, dang, that was some good advice, or like, or the other way around, that's some bad advice. Like, you know, you don't say stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? That's crazy.
It is though. It is like how you brought up though, cause like kids in general, kids gonna do what they see they mama and they daddy do. You know, that's their first sense of learning. You supposed to bring up a child how they supposed to be brought up. So it do come from the parents. Like that's the first step of learning. Before you even send them off to school, what they know already before they get to school is from you. You know,
understanding the impact that the people around us have. It could be people on the internet. Like we can build bad habits from people on the internet that we just never met. You know what I'm saying? We can think a certain way about how people should be just based off the internet, like based off what somebody said online. We can look at something from a totally different perspective than when this person said and what we thought before, like the video you seen the other day.
About the baby shower.
Yeah,
That's a perfect example.
Because you didn't look at it like that at first.
No, but I'm gonna share that with y'all too. So basically, this man, you know, he on his walk with Christ. He, you know, like he serious about his walk with Christ, and he got a friend that's having a baby. And y'all know the, you know, traditional events for when we have kids. Y'all want to do the gender reveal. Y'all want to do the baby shower. And so he told his friend. Well, first he asked him a question. He was like, well, are y'all married? He started out with congratulations. Then he proceeded to ask him, was him and the girl married? And, you know, his friend was like, well, you know, we ain't got there yet, bro. And he basically told him he couldn't come to the baby shower because he couldn't congratulate. Basically, he can't support the conviction. You know, he can't support that you know, you can lay up with this woman, but you can't do it the right way. You can't marry her. You know, you can't commit. But he was like, you know, I can't, you know, congratulations and there, and I love you, but I just can't come to the baby shower and support that and celebrate that because, you know, it ain't right. I done been to, you know, I ain't been to too many, but I done been to a few baby showers in my life. You know, I done brought gifts for friends, family, you know, just to show them some support. They got a child coming and everybody want to help them out. But when I watched that video, it really changed my perspective because, you know, in a way he right. Like, you know, that's how God wants us to do things. And it's just like, if you gonna walk with God and be, you know, with God, you gotta do it all the way. You can't halfway do it. Like, you can't do what you gonna do, but then let the people around you do stuff wrong and don't try to, you know, right their wrong. But in that case, you know, it's a human being we talking about, you know, the damage already done, but he just basically was telling him he can't partake in it, you know, because it wasn't right. It sounds kind of harsh, but it's just like, I felt like I understood exactly where he was coming from. Like, at first I was like, dang, it is kind of harsh, but I understood. Like, you know, he on his walk with Christ and he know that's not right, so he not going to partake in it. And I feel like he did it in a respectful way. He didn't get rude about it. He didn't just say, nah, bro, you know, you wrong, you gotta, you know, he ain't judge him. He just told him, like, I can't partake in that. I can't come celebrate with you. He left it at that. So I feel like looking at that at a different perspective, like, I understood. Like, it made perfect sense to me.
Yeah, I remember she sent me the video. She asked what was my opinion on it, and I forgot to ask you this. So, did let it be known, like, the girl and the dude, was they still together? Like, were they still together, or he didn't say?
He didn't say all that.
Like I told her, I said, dude is right. You know what I mean? I told the dude right because you know, we're not supposed to partake in stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I told her, like, she right, but at the same time, I thought about it like from, I don't know, and I thought of it from a different perspective. I thought, like, man, like, if that's my brother, like if like, I'm thinking, like, if it's my real life little brother, like, I put myself in dude's shoes, and let's say that I know they weren't real brothers and them like that, but like, I would put in perspective, like, this my real life little brother, or even like my best friend, like my homeboy tell me, hey, bro, like, me and my girl, we finna have a baby shower or whatever. I just want you to come, and, you know, even if it was to just show your face for a minute. And I told him, and I told her, like, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I go. Like, I go just to, not even to congratulate that in particular, but just be there for him. You know what I mean? Just to show my face. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, and, you know, like I said, that might not be, you know, the right thing to say, but I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest with what I would do. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie and say, if my boy have a child, that I wouldn't be there for him. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, because
I still, like, I feel like, you know, when I saw that video from a different perspective, like, yeah, like, dang, that is kind of, but, like, if I did that for real, like, one of my homegirls was like, oh, we having a baby shower, I want you to come and stuff like that, like, today, right now, like, me and that man, we probably in two different aspects on our walk with Christ. He probably done got that far ahead where he can. I would feel bad telling my friend, like, nah, I can't come if y'all not married. That ain't your husband. I just can't come celebrate with you. I would feel some type of way now. Just telling her no, cause it's just like, dang. But that's the right way. Like, it's harsh, but that's how you supposed to do things. My friends hit me up today and they was like, can you come? I would think about it. I ain't gonna say I just would tell him like, nah, I can't come because I just saw that video. Cause like I said, now he did open my eyes from a different perspective. But like I said, I ain't gonna say, I would just say no. But I really honestly would think about it because I never looked at it that way. That's why it's very important to, like, when you talking to somebody, try to understand what they trying to tell you. And honestly listen, not hear what you want to hear, but listen to all of it and take it in and then talk. That's why, and it's also important to be slow to speak. Don't be trying to over talk somebody what they saying just because they first initial thought you don't agree with. Let them tell you their reasoning behind what they saying and see if you can understand what they saying.
Right. That's what, cause at first, I ain't gonna lie, like at first I was like, damn. No,
yeah.
I'm like, no, I'll be there for my friend. Like, I'll be there for my friend. You know what I mean? But, after hearing like what you said and stuff like that, it made me think deeper into it. It made me think like, would God really be happy with that? Like at that moment, you know what I mean? Would he really approve of that? You know what I mean? Like, so that made it made me think too. You know what I'm saying? It made me look at it in a different perspective too. But like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say, because like, let's say I probably have a child or whatever, and I invite a few of my friends. So it's only a few friends. It's only a few, like very few, that I just go to. I go to that baby shower. I just go like, and like I said, just to show my face, just to show that I was there.
But let me ask you this before you get into that, putting yourself in them shoes. Would you impregnate a girl before marrying her?
I would like not to. But if I was to, would I like for my few friends that I would tell to come to the baby shower to be there? Yeah, I would. Yeah, because I'll be there for you. Let's say, I know this ain't gonna happen with you, but let's say this happened to you. If it happened to you, I would be there for you.
Yeah,
I would be there for you.
Yeah, that's why I said like, I ain't just gonna say, yeah, I saw that video, I agree, so now I gotta be that way, because that ain't true. Like I said, that man may be in a place in his life where he further along with God than I am. I haven't got there because I haven't even thought to think from a second perspective on something like that. So I ain't just gonna say I would tell my friends no. Honestly, one of my friends texted me and told me that, I probably would tell them yeah. But I ain't gonna say, since I saw that video, I wouldn't think about like you said, is this really what God wants? I would think about it because I done seen it from a different perspective, but I ain't gonna say I just would tell them no.
It depends on how close we are. It depends on how close we are. If I'm real close with you, then I would be there. But if we friends, but I'm not that close, because you got friends that you close to, you got friends that you ain't really all that close to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it depends on how close we are. If we close, I'm gonna be there for you, bro. But if not, then yeah. It's so much you gotta learn, bro. It's so much, like, cause you didn't even know, like, you was sinning when you went to don't know.
You know that
you didn't know.
You encouraging these sins.
Yeah.
Encouraging these bad behaviors that the Lord don't approve of. I feel like yeah, you ain't doing it, but if you encouraging them, you just as bad. Moving on to the next one.
That was good. That was a good one.
That was good. Why is it important to maintain great habits even if you're not motivated?
It's like when you may not feel like, reading the Bible every day.
Yeah.
You may not feel like going to go to the gym every day. You may not feel like going to go walking. You may not feel like eating healthy that day. But you know it's going to benefit you in the long run. You know it's going to benefit you in all facets of life. Physically, mentally, and spiritually, most importantly. So you don't build great habits to see great results right then. you build great habits, and you know the bigger word discipline in order to, you know what I'm saying, maintain. You get to a point where, like you said, you live off motivation. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't always motivated. You don't feel like going to work out every day. I know you don't.
No.
You don't feel like going walking every day. I know you know what I'm saying? Like, I know you be telling me about your mom be cooking. Cooking good, bro.
Y'all, I swear. Okay, so typically this is what I do. Monday through Friday, I meal prep. Whatever I cook, Sunday, sometimes I don't even get to it on Sunday. Sometimes I do it Monday. What I gotta do today, I got some chicken breast laid out now. But I meal prep Monday through Friday. I don't eat what I want to eat till the weekend come for real. So, you know, Monday through Friday, I'm eating my meal prep. Now, ain't nobody else in the house in their health. They not on their fitness journey. So, ain't nobody else studying no chicken and rice and broccoli. Ain't nobody studying no eggs and, you know, Greek yogurt trying to get no protein. They eating what they want to eat. So, and that's where the real discipline come in, bro. Like, midweek when my mama cooking, she cooking red beans and rice, fried chicken, cornbread. I gotta walk past that good smelling chicken, go to the refrigerator, get one of them containers out, and warm up my chicken and rice, cause it ain't my day to eat like that, bro.
That's your red beans and rice?
Huh?
That's your red beans and rice?
Yeah, that's my red beans and rice, the chicken and rice. I just gotta, like Cheeto say, imagine.
You gotta imagine it's a piece of pizza.
I be wanting to indulge in it. Everybody got big plates. I be having to go in my room. I ain't even finna sit at the table and watch y'all eat all this in front of me.
Right.
So it's just like, bro, I don't be wanting to do that, but I know with what I'm trying to do and where I want, like, you know, in that specific situation where I want my body to be and where I want my fitness goals to be, that's just what I gotta do, whether I want to or not. You know, if I'm always cheating, I got 5 bowls of meal prep in there, and 2-3 days out the week, I'm tipping in the pot, eating what they eat. You know, I'm going against what I'm even building. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, you gotta do stuff you don't want to do to get to where you want to be. You're gonna have to.
You know, just understanding that even though you may not feel like doing something, or it may be tiring, it may wear you out, you know what I mean? But you know,
anyway.
You gotta keep going and keep going anyway.
That's what discipline is, and that's gonna give you a whole lot. That's gonna get you a whole lot further than motivation ever would. Cause the motivation fade, bro. It do after so long. It just like, you ain't feeling how you was feeling when you first started. You was excited to do it. You was excited to try something new. So of course you're gonna have the motivation to go do it, but is you gonna have the motivation to maintain it and do it every day or do it 5 times a week? You're not. It's gonna be days like you just not gonna feel like doing it, but the important thing is you push yourself to go do it anyway to get to your end goal.
I swear.
And even when you get to your goal, then it ain't getting to your goal, it's maintaining. You know, so you
making new goals.
Yeah, making new goals. Yeah. So that's why it's important to stick to your habits, build great habits, build good habits, and stick to them. But they better for you in the long run. You can't think about it now. You gotta think about the long run.
Another thing, never get comfortable. Do not get comfortable.
And that's what leading to the. Well, I didn't say that in that second question, but that's what build bad habits, comfortability. Cause you done got so comfortable doing what you're doing, that's what you're gonna do, cause that's what you know. Yeah. And you're gonna keep on doing it. You ain't never uncomfortable. You gotta push yourself to get out your comfort zone and do new stuff. You just sitting comfortable, you're gonna be where you at until you make yourself move. Yeah. You're gonna stay in that same spot until you make yourself move. Ain't nobody gonna have the power to do it but you. People come in there and preach to you over and over. Son, you need to do this so you can do this. And oh yeah, Pops, that sound good. You know, yeah, what he's saying sound good, but is you gonna do it?
Yeah.
So
I know it, I ain't gonna lie. It be plenty of times my daddy told me, he's like, oh yeah, son, you need to be saving your money or whatever. Yeah, that sounds
yeah, you right.
Yeah, you right.
So I get my check.
He was like, yes, sir. saying? Like, just never getting too comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Like, always striving for something more, like more, you know what I'm saying? Until, you know what I'm saying, till God call your name, bro, because it's always more stuff to be done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's say you make $1 million. Okay, yeah, I finally made $1 million. Now let's go to 10 million. Let's go to 100. Like,
you can't get comfortable.
Yeah.
You cannot get comfortable. Cause you get comfortable, that's how you wind back up where you was, or you stay where you at. Like, you gotta make yourself uncomfortable. You gotta go try some new stuff. You gotta go do some new stuff. You just got to, cause if you stay where you comfortable at, you're not gonna elevate.
Question number 4: why is it important to leave behind bad habits?
I really feel like we touched on that a lot in 3 too. I feel like we picked both of them in the third question. It's gonna hold you back. Like, you're not gonna be able to get where you want to be if you just stay in your bad habits. You ain't gonna change them. You done got comfortable doing what you gonna do. It's like, you can't keep doing what you doing but want different for yourself. You gotta do different things to get different things. You can't do the same thing and expect this great outcome.
You know what they mean? That's insanity.
Exactly.
That's insanity.
Cause how? It don't even make sense. Like, yeah, I want to lose some weight. But every time I see you got ice cream and cookies. Yeah. You got a double cheeseburger, loaded fry. You don't want to lose no weight. No, I eat this every day. You don't want to lose no weight.
I swear, bro.
Come on, let's go walking. Yeah. I'm too tired today. I'll do it another day.
Bro,
you know.
I swear, bro. Cause I remember one day, we was at work.
Yeah, the crazy stuff be happening.
Bro, so you know, Diz asked me, so what? How many times I went to the gym this week? Cause I was been supposed to talk about business journey, bro. She was like, yeah, so how many times I went to the gym this week? I said,
don't lie.
Yeah, I said twice.
I said twice.
Yeah,
I said hood 7 days in the week. That's all you gave yourself.
She like, hood, give me your hand.
Now we got it to where we can share our workouts with each other, so we can see when we closing the move ring, when we closing the exercise ring, we can see it now. But it's important to hold yourself accountable, but it's good to have people in your life that gonna hold you accountable to your goals too. Like,
yeah, cause some people need it. I know I do.
This is my friend, and he say he want to get right, so I gotta make sure he taking the proper steps to get right. So I tap in every now and then, like, how everything going. It's good to have people to motivate you and push you too. Like, they give you sometimes when the days you don't have the motivation, they give you the motivation to go do what you need to do.
Yeah, and I said now it's starting to get to the point where, I'm growing self-discipline with that. But let me okay, so anyway, after I told her this, she was like, you sure you went twice? You sure? And I was like, yeah. She was like, all right, just know if you lying. Just know you ain't lying to me. You lying to yourself.
Exactly.
Boy, I stood there. I sat there for a minute. Bro, I was just feeling like so boo-boo face, bro. I was just like, bro, I'm tripping, bro. I need to do better, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, man. So that's when I finally started to, lock in, a little bit more. So instead of going 2 times, I started going 3 times. And started going 3 times, like eventually I started going 4 times. And then it came 5. And,
bro, now, like, honestly, like, Hood do real good, bro. Every days, Hood get up early now. He always got up early, but now he getting them workouts in with the walks, and a lot of times his move ring, exercise ring, they be closed by 12 o'clock. And then when he get out of work, go hit that gym. So, he doing a whole lot better, bro, and I'm proud of you for that.
I appreciate that, bro. Sometimes we just need people to push us and show us, like, let it be known that, bro, like, look, you ain't feeling me, you feeling you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why I say, like, people can tell you all day, but ultimately it's up to you. And with the workout specifically, like, workout, But you know, eating probably the biggest part of like losing weight. Like you can't eat all that grease and you know all that sugar and all that bread. And ultimately, it's gonna show. Like you can work out 7 days a week, but if you ain't eating right, it's gonna show that you ain't eating right. Cause you know you gonna be working out, sweating, doing all that, but you still gonna be big in the stomach, puffy in the face. You know, so it's like, you know, what you eat, it's gonna show. What you eat is gonna show. If you ain't working out, all that stuff gonna show. All of it. So it just like I told him, like, you know, if you lying, yeah, you telling me a lie, but you lying to yourself ultimately, because you ain't doing what you gotta do to achieve your goals. But that all falls into building them good habits. Like you gotta build them habits and stick to them habits so you can get where you need to get.
Yeah, bro. You know, boy. I'm telling you, bro, because, like, I needed to get, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people need, like, not even just physical conviction like that, but, like, mental and spiritual conviction like that. You know, like, because I remember telling you this story when it was, one day we was having church at the house, and I just didn't want to really be there. And, you know, my mom could tell, you know what I'm saying? I was kind of having a little attitude and stuff like that. She was like, and she told me a Bible verse, he who deny him, he will deny you. And I just broke down crying because I couldn't imagine God denying me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that made me want to learn more about God and, you know, build a better relationship with God, because it's like, dang, I know that they deny me, that means I'm going to hell.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? If I keep going the way I'm going. You feel what I'm saying? If I don't try to learn, because, you know, like in the word it says, my people are destroyed by lack of knowledge because they reject knowledge. I've been rejecting God because now I ain't got no excuse. Now I'm around my people. They know of God. You know what I mean? They have a relationship with God. You know what I mean? I got a grandma that literally, you know, God has allowed her to cast out demons, give her visions and dreams and stuff like that about you know, spiritual things. So, you know, I ain't got no excuse no more. I don't have no excuse. So, just like with you with the, you know, the working out and stuff like that, I seen how, you know, how God had, you know, you've been disciplined, but like maybe gain more discipline into, you know, your body and stuff like that, and you get to feeling guilty, bro. Like I know when I feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I feel so guilty because I know it. You know what I mean? But, you know, that's about, you know, breaking that bondage and them chains and stuff like that, and you know what I mean, just moving past them old habits, my old ways, and you know, trying to move forward and build better habits and great habits. You know what I'm saying? Turn those bad things into good things. You know what I'm saying? Turn weaknesses into strengths. That's what I say.
And our last question for today: which is harder to do, build great habits or leave behind bad habits?
You go first. Yeah.
I'm gonna say leave behind bad habits. I say leave behind bad habits because, like I said, for you to even create bad habits, you stay where you're comfortable at. And you know, you want to be comfortable, but not comfortable in the wrong thing. But it's just like when we comfortable, that's just like we get in bed. When we comfortable in bed, we don't want to move. We in the right spot.
Right.
We found that warm spot.
Right.
The side of the pillow cold. Yeah.
That fan on.
Yeah. I'm comfortable. I ain't finna move. So it's hard to get up from where you comfortable at to, you know, get uncomfortable than it is to start something new. To me, I feel like building better habits like is easier than to break away from your bad habits. Cause you know when you build better, you just started something new. You know you ain't even started for real like maintain. You just started something new. Like I'm gonna start doing this because I know it's better for me. But for you to break out of something that you've been doing for so long,
I'm in total agreement with you. I think it's harder to leave because like it's just like I said in spiritual ways, leaving behind like certain sins and stuff like that. Like because like you said, we get comfortable with certain things. We get comfortable like with, like you said, eating bad and you know what I'm saying, not really moving as much, and you know what I mean, just not reading the word, and you know, just getting comfortable not doing certain things. You feel what I'm saying? It's hard to make those turn weaknesses into strengths. You know what I'm saying? Or try to. You feel what I'm saying? That's you know, cause like you said, when you started something new, And let's say you somewhat like it. You know what I'm saying? You somewhat like it. And it's easier, I feel like, then to make that into a pretty decent habit than to do something you know you're not really good at, and then or like it's a bad habit, and like I said, trying to turn it into a great one. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like that's super difficult. You feel what I'm saying? It's hard, bro. Like, cause it's hard to always do the right thing because we're human. We're human. We mess up. We do things and we say things we probably shouldn't have said, or we do things we shouldn't have done. You feel what I'm saying? And it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you in bondage. You in bondage because that certain spirit is attached to you.
Right.
Main thing I struggle with is the way I was taught to look at women. You know what I mean? Like, as men, for a lot of the times, we're taught to look at a woman in a very lustful way. And we ain't taught to look at a woman like how we should. You feel what I'm saying? And, when you so used to being looking at stuff a certain way for almost 20, 30, 40 years, it's hard to just say, you know what? The flesh like pleasure. Our flesh like feeling pleasure. Then we, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how like the bad habits come with, like, when you want to pleasure your flesh and stuff like that. And, when you, like I said, when you're not taught differently, and then all of a sudden, now you have to do a complete 180 on how you look at certain things. It ain't for the weak, brother. This journey, you know what I'm saying, that we on, it's not for the weak, but, you know what I'm saying? But, in the Lord's name, we ain't weak, so, we very strong, and we're very strong-minded individuals, and, God gave us, you know what I'm saying, the power to do it all, so, just use our powers in the right way that God has blessed us with. Y'all, that's the end of episode 2 of today's episode of Habits. And make sure y'all please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, all social media platforms. Wish me a happy B-Day in the comment section. And yeah, we love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
See y'all in the next episode.